Yo, all y'all, man, we got Explore With Us, bro. Goats, man. Goats with his body cam stuff. Make good videos. They will be linked in the description if you would like to follow them, subscribe, or whatever. We got husband whistles as he slowly murders his wife. Okay, that is bad, man. Let's go. Follow up. Follow up over here before we get into this. Follow up over here. Follow up on the second channel. Follow up on the main channel and the third. I made a third one, bro. It's gonna be not really body cam stuff. There might be one every now and again, but it will be just more like drama shit. Like we're doing the comedy dramas going on the Rogan Sphere, and we got a whole bunch of other shit. So follow up over there. But let's get to this video, man.
Like laid down and said that she felt dizzy and she wasn't feeling well. It was absolutely sickening.
But I am angry. You just brought me home.
What kind of a sick person does that?
It just is psychotic.
I think you think she's gonna die.
There's some drugs that wouldn't show up on that drug panel.
And so potassium cyanide is not something that we use in dentistry. I don't even know how to acquire potassium cyanide.
It just is a whole another layer of just wicked.
A Colorado mother begins experiencing sudden and devastating symptoms after a morning workout. Her family watches helplessly as her illness progresses over the coming days, and suspicious eyes turn to one man, her husband, a beloved and ambitious.
I mean, again, don't mean to pause too early, but the studies show, or statistics show that if you die, majority of time, not all the time, majority of time, it is a loved one or someone that you know near, like a family, friend, or someone like that.
Local dentist. But as she fights for her life, the
Rest in
investigation
peace, man.
into
I feel
what
bad for
happened
her.
will take a shocking turn that no one saw coming.
Our point is not to put you away, it's to put the person away that caused this to your wife. And that's
What if
where
that
we're
person
at.
is my wife?
The following report is based on official police records, and most of the footage has never been seen before until now. It's Monday, March 6, 2023. Home surveillance cameras are recording as 45-year-old Dr. Jim Craig exchanges pleasantries with his wife Angela before heading to work.
What was that? That was... You just... Okay.
Well, see you, babe.
Goes on forever.
Love you. Have a great day. I'm actually thirsty.
Jim is headed to his Aurora, Colorado dental practice, which he's seen here promoting on YouTube in 2012.
Hi, this is Dr. Jim Craig with Summerbrook Dental Group. One of the questions I get asked most commonly by patients is, what is the deal with all of the over-the-counter whitening products that are available out there?
Jim and Angela have been married for more than 20 years by the morning of the 6th, with 6 kids and what looks from the outside like the perfect marriage.
Yep.
But on this seemingly ordinary day, things would go terribly wrong.
Yeah, from what I know, you're evil, bro. Killing the mother of your children? Nuts.
Worked out. She had a really hard workout, he said. And then after that, she kind of just like laid down and said that she felt dizzy and she wasn't feeling well.
Angela's illness comes on suddenly, and she sends worried text messages to her husband, who immediately leaves work. She also sends messages to her sister Tony, who lives in Utah.
I can't really explain because my brain doesn't want to work. Something feels really weird in my head, and my body is sluggish, and Jim's going to take me to the doctor this morning. I said, well, that's not good and a little scary. When are you going in? He took the girls to a friend, and he should be home soon. I said, well, what do you think it is? She said, no idea.
When Jim returns home, he finds Angela in a terrible state.
My phone keys in the bathroom.
Okay, I got it.
Jim is seen carefully leading his wife to the car, and even from a silent video, it's clear that Angela is barely well enough to walk. They go to the hospital, but the doctors can't figure out what's wrong. Jim brings her home that afternoon, and he later tells his office manager that Angela suspected something was
Yeah, you know it's bad when the damn doctor don't know what's wrong with you.
off.
He said that he initially thought that she had taken something, and that's what was causing all of this. And then he said, and I think she thinks that I drugged her. I was like, oh, that's crazy. And he said, yeah, the hospital ran a drug panel, and on the way home, she had made a comment like, there's some drugs that wouldn't show up on that drug panel.
The cameras watch as Jim and his wife return home, Angela clearly still feeling the effects of the mysterious ailment. The next morning, she confronts him about what went down at the hospital.
It may not be your fault that they didn't do their due diligence or anything like that, but it's your fault they treated me differently. Like, I did it to myself.
Okay.
And, like, nothing I said could be believed.
Because I didn't say to her, I'm afraid she did this to herself. I just said, are you going to do a drug panel?
You think that's not enough?
Neither of us said, I think she did this to herself, or I think she took drugs, or I think that. Neither of us said that. That's
And how do you think it would have gone if you had actually defended me?
Oh, wow, okay.
Well, I also wanted a drug panel because you were accusing me. I wanted that for me, too.
It may be the first sign of strain caught by the cameras, but as those who know the couple best will reveal, it's far from the first crack in their marriage. 6 years ago, their relationship nearly collapsed.
He came home and announced that he'd been having an affair and he was leaving her.
What the fuck?
And she was distraught, of course, because she'd been trying to hold their family together for all these years. And she was trying to figure
That guy's
out
nuts.
whether she should just leave or try to fight for it or see is he serious.
Leave. And if this happens, regardless of what side, you know, male, female, leave. Nah, bro. That's the be all of all of it, dude. Cheating on somebody? No, you're wrong, bro. You don't get redemption after that.
You know, but she was pretty solid on the affair.
But Angela didn't want to divorce, and according to her sister, the infidelity was quickly overshadowed by an even more serious incident.
And then she called me one day and she was mad. And I'm like, of course, nature of life with when someone's cheated on you, right? She said that he had sedated her.
According to Tony, Jim drugged Angela without her knowledge so that he would have enough time to carry out his final plan, injecting himself with something that would end not only his marriage, but his life. He never went through with it, but the emotional wounds from that day had not healed by the morning of March 7th, 2023.
Well, I also wanted a drug panel because you were accusing me.
When texting her husband the day she suddenly fell ill, Angela wrote, "I feel drugged." Jim replied, "Given our history, I know that must be triggering. Just for the record, I didn't drug you."
But I am angry. I'm angry.
Yeah, I'm not trying to be rude, but if they think of that the first second, yeah, bro, you're on the chopping block, bro. Cause like, what do you mean you have a wife and kids, and the first thing she says to you, "I feel drugged"? Nah, bro, like, you're on the chopping block, bro. This is nuts.
You and angry at them, and I'm absolutely filing a complaint about it. They didn't do anything except send me home and recommend I see my PCP. And you didn't do anything. You just brought me home. You didn't even try to call my PCP or try to call anybody or try to do anything. You just brought me home.
Angela's suspicions may not only stem from the drugging 6 years ago, but from something that happened much more recently.
So when she texted me, she started it with, "I'm not really ready to talk yet. That's right. Yeah. But I'm leaving Jim. He's left," how did she put it? "He's made it impossible for me to stay."
Only 4 months before falling ill, Angela discovered that Jim had created a profile on a matchmaking site called Seeking.com.
Wow.
Before long, he'd found a woman to spend time with.
James and I had a relationship for, honestly, I think it might have been like 3 weeks, maybe a month.
Okay.
And it was like November and December, ended in December. This is embarrassing to admit, met him on a sugar daddy site.
Okay. Did he take you on any vacations or anything?
He did. That was December. We went up to Bozeman, and then his wife found out, and immediately the next day we came back to Denver.
Okay. So she found out while you guys were in Bozeman.
So were you with him when he had a wife?
Correct.
Is what he told you. Okay.
We didn't even spend 24 hours in Bozeman.
Oh, God. Okay.
Yeah.
Jim managed to smooth things over with Angela, promising that he was merely stringing women along with attention and money, but with no intention of actually cheating. But even on March
Yeah, bro, you're cheating if you do that.
1st, after Jim returned from a speaking engagement in Las Vegas, texts show that the mistrust remained. Is there anything else you're not telling me? Angela asked. Jim replied, No, there really isn't anything else to disclose. I really was in Las Vegas by myself, and I don't want to sleep with anyone else but you. By March 8th, 2 days after Angela's trip to the hospital, things have settled a bit, or at least it would seem.
Yeah, but you haven't been eating.
No, at all.
What?
And I didn't exercise today, so.
Yeah, that's true. Please don't exercise today. Oh my gosh. Oh no.
I don't think I could if I wanted to. I had her.
Good. Because I don't want you to exercise today and then pass out and be dead on the bathroom floor.
The day passes without incident, but the next day, Angela takes another sudden turn for the worse.
What? That's even worse.
Hey, Mom just threw up and she asked me to call you.
Oh my gosh, that's bad, bro.
Angela's daughter takes her back to the hospital, but this time she won't be coming back home so quickly.
She has been battling a really weird illness over the last 4 days, we have been to the emergency room twice, urgent care once, and now she has been admitted to the hospital even though nobody can figure out what's wrong, period.
Sorry, bro.
But his wife's increasingly serious illness appears to be no match for Jim's cheerful disposition. This energy would extend to his interactions with Angela's family and friends over the next 5 days, as he updated them about her condition. In one text, he says of the medical mystery, "If it wasn't my wife, this would be kind of a fun puzzle to try to work out."
It's funny because 90% of the time she seems like she's doing pretty well, and then all of a sudden she'll have a crash or something. It's hard to predict when that'll happen. Do you understand what I'm saying?
I do.
It's just back and forth, and then it's like, yeah, but most of the time, 90% and then she'll crash and die. But it's hard to predict when that's going to happen. We don't know. Gosh, isn't this funny? This is like a conundrum, isn't it?
It's weird, yeah.
Crazy. But look at this funny joke.
And the sickness wasn't getting better, and the doctors did every MRI, CT scan, test, labs, everything. No one could figure out what the heck was going on.
Sunday, I had texted him, just checking in. How's everything going? Going okay. She had a huge crash last night, and the doctors had a hard time reviving her again, but today is a lot better. I'm hoping they will let her come home tomorrow. Her brother is driving in town, so he and my sister-in-law can help out with my kids, and I should be able to work.
If my wife was going through what she was going through, the last thing on my mind would have been my patients, would have been, hopefully I'll be at work next week.
Yeah.
None of that stuff, right? My full attention would have been with my wife.
Right.
Facts.
Did that strike you as odd?
It did, yeah. And what was weird to me too is one day last week, and I don't remember what day it was, but I was talking to him on the phone, and he had made a comment, I don't think she's going to make it through the night.
On Sunday, March 11th,
shit.
2 days into Angela's hospital stay, Jim calls her sister, Tony.
And he just says, and I'm telling you right now, Tony, if she dies from this, I'm not allowing him to do an autopsy.
Okay, so this is where it came in.
And I said, whoa.
This is where
She is not dying, number one.
Yeah.
And number two, why not?
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, well, they don't know what they're doing, and they've already done enough to her. I'm not letting them cut on her.
But despite Jim's pessimism, Angela slowly improves. And by Tuesday,
That's
March
amazing.
14th, the hospital sends her home once again. That night, Jim texts her sister to provide a grim update.
Tony, I'm not going to lie. I don't want to tell the whole family this, but she doesn't look good. It's not as bad as when I came home on Monday and saw her, but she's in really bad shape.
This time around, Angela's brother Mark and his wife are in town to watch over her while Jim goes to work on Wednesday morning, March 15th.
She wanted to try to come outside and eat, and Jim had pressed
Okay.
make sure she takes her meds that morning. Make sure she takes her meds. And she went back into her room, and 30 minutes later, Mark went in, and she did not look good. And she was not doing well.
The camera watches as Mark and his wife lead her to the car to head back to the hospital. It would be the last time Angela would ever appear on her own home surveillance cameras. They get to the hospital and check Angela in. Not long after, Jim is seen on camera arriving at the hospital himself. He stays for about 20 minutes and then leaves again, right around the time Tony calls him to find out what's happening with her sister.
And so I called him. I'm like, I want to know what's going on right now.
Yeah.
And so he starts talking to me, but he's not at the hospital. And I'm like, you're not there? And he's like, well, I had to go, apparently he had gone to the hospital. Mark said he did initially come there, but then he told me, I had to go back to work and get some things kind of squared away so I can go back up to the hospital, and I'm just going to run through a couple of drive-thrus and get some food.
Started getting some text messages that,
like, you think he's putting the shit in her, because if because maybe it's the things he's taking, like, is fucking with her body. I don't know, bro, because he clearly, I think he's like a nurse or so. I don't know what the fuck he is. He's something.
she wasn't doing well again, and things were not really looking good at all. Like, things took a turn for the worse. Jim and my wife had more communication today. I had no communication with Jim until I got to the hospital. Okay. But I started getting more information from my wife today. And at one point she says, she called me and she's like, I think Angie's gonna die. And I was like, are you being serious?
On the surveillance system, Jim is seen going into Angela's room, leaving, and then going back in again, all within the span of a few minutes. Jim stays in her room for only 1 minute this last time, and when he comes out again, it's very obvious that Angela's condition has suddenly and dramatically changed.
Comes a whole slew of doctors. There was like 5 of them. I was like, this is not good. I know how to come. Yeah, you know. I was like, this is not good. They're bringing witnesses, a panel of witnesses. And I looked at my wife. I said, that's not good. And as soon as the door opened, after 10 minutes, Jim came out and was just bawling. And they basically told him that she's not going to make it.
The next thing I get, he says, hang on, crash. Who kind of a sick person does that? Mm-hmm. And I'm panicked. They said, what crash, Jim? Are they able to bring her back? I don't know what's going on. They think seizure. Intubating her. Why? Now I know it's really bad because they're intubating her. Mm-hmm. Can't get the tube in. Emergency anesthesia team is paged. What? Why? She's not maintaining her airway, bagging her. Cannot get the breathing tube in. What does the anesthesia team do? Get the tube in. Are they there yet? I mean, I'm just panicking.
The staff at University Hospital does everything they can to bring Angela back following a seizure and a rapid medical decline, but it's no use. Because she's an organ donor, she's put on life support in the ICU. But just as her family and friends begin to face this tragic ending, an unimaginable suspicion
What, he takes a picture of her?
arises. It comes via Jim's office manager, Caitlin, who reveals that she's been holding on to a dreadful secret.
So I called Jack.
Bro, I'm not trying to be rude. You gotta be a sick and evil person to just watch your wife die. This guy's evil.
And I told her, I'm gonna tell you something and it's gonna sound really insane.
When she was sleeping with him?
And she said, I know what you're gonna say. I had the same thought. And I said, well, what do you mean? And she goes, well, I had the same thought that maybe Dr. Craig has something to do with this.
As Caitlin
I'm over here jumping. Okay. I thought he was a serial cheater. Damn.
continues to share, it becomes clear that this is far more than idle speculation.
Wow. Last Monday, the 6th, Dr. Craig, his wife, got really sick. That was the first day that he left in the middle of the day to take her to the hospital. Later that night, he had come back to the office. Everybody had left. I was still working. So when I was leaving, his office, his light was off. And so I thought that he had left. And when I got to the very last operatory, he was sitting in there. And he was sitting in the dark. The light was off. And he was on the computer in there. Mm-hmm. Which was really strange because he has a laptop and a desktop in his office.
Caitlin would soon have a very good reason to question what exactly Jim was working on in the dark.
So I left the office about 5:45, and he had texted me at 6:06 saying that he was having a personal package delivered to the office, and when it came in, to please just put it on his desk. This past Monday, the 13th, it came in. My receptionist is the one that originally got the box and opened it.
Oh shit!
And when I was putting the packing slip back into the box, I saw that it said potassium cyanide.
Okay.
And so I closed the box back up. I gave it to him. I looked up what cyanide poisoning was, and kind of was looking at the side effects from that, and that was everything that his wife was going through.
Caitlin shares this terrible secret with both of the practice's managing partners, including Ryan, who is still at the hospital.
And so potassium cyanide is not something that we use in dentistry.
Okay.
I don't even know how to acquire potassium cyanide. I've never looked at how to acquire potassium cyanide because it's never something that we would ever use in dentistry.
Yeah.
Disturbed by the potential implications of this package, Ryan decides to tell a member of the hospital staff, just in case there is still a chance to save Angela.
And I just said, I'm not accusing of Jim of anything. I'm not insinuating anything. I'm concerned about if this is potentially reversible. I know it's been a mystery of trying to figure out what's going on with Angie, but in lieu of this information,
right. If they can give her something, right?
There's something. I mean, I've never Googled cyanide poisoning. I don't know anything about. It's outside my scope of practice and my realm of practice. I have no idea. It was pretty brief. It was pretty quick. It was like maybe 3 minutes. And he was obviously like, what the heck? You know, taken back by what I was saying. I was taken back by what I was saying.
Angela, who no longer shows any signs of brain activity, is beyond saving. But the staff wastes no time in contacting the police.
Hello, non-emergency. This is Paula. How may I help you?
Hi, my name is Chelsea. I am one of the forensic nurses here at University Hospital. I am needing to make a mandated SBI report, IPV, and needing officer response. We have a suspected potassium cyanide poisoning.
It doesn't take long before Jim begins to realize that something is up. One of his first moves is to give Ryan a call.
He says, Ryan, I got some disturbing news. And I said, did you say something to somebody? And I said, yeah, I did. And I told him exactly what I said to the nurse. And I said, Jim, what was in the package? I said, did you order a package? He said, kind of paused. He said, yeah, I did. I said, what was in the package? He goes, oh, it was a ring for Angie. It's going to be a surprise. And I said, Jim, that's not what was in the package. And he goes, what do you mean? And I was like, the package was opened. And he's like, no, it wasn't. I said, yes, it was, Jim. Jim, I know what's in the package.
Uh-oh.
And he wouldn't admit to what was in the package. And I said, Jim, potassium cyanide was in the package. Why do you have potassium cyanide?
The shocking answer to that question is one that Jim will give to many people before this investigation is finished. But when police go out to his house that night, his lips are sealed.
Need a lawyer.
All right, so we'll have to deal with him then too. So he won't be allowed either. I mean, absolutely nobody can go in. So
okay, that's fine.
I'm sorry.
No, that's all right.
All right. Say, Brian, we got.
Like he's making. I'm not trying to be rude. He's just so inconsiderate, and like anything like divorce would have probably disturbed the family, but killing their mother with poisoning their mother is worse. You're gonna be in jail and she's dead. Like you're evil, bro.
The husband right here.
Did you talk to any officers up there?
No.
Okay. I think our detectives are going to want to talk to you.
Okay.
Yeah, would that be okay?
I think so.
Okay.
I've never done this before. Do I need to do like on the shows and say I need a lawyer or something?
No, you're not a suspect or anything that I'm aware of. They just want to, see what's going on here.
Okay.
Can you hang tight for a second? I'm going to give them a call and see what they want to, if they want you to come in or whatever.
A few minutes later, the officer returns.
I want to know if you'll just meet him down at the station there.
I will, and I think I have
to do that.
Well, I think I have the information that they're looking for, but I'm scared to death to share it without an attorney. So I'll go down there, but I don't want to talk to him without an attorney.
Okay.
But I have the information they're
Well,
looking for.
I mean, it's
And I'm not dangerous, and I'm not a flight
it's
risk.
completely voluntary. You don't have to. I mean, we're not forcing you to go.
Okay. But I do want to talk to him.
Okay.
I just want to do it with an attorney.
Jim isn't talking, but the police tell him and his family that they'll have to stay somewhere else for the time being.
Yeah, I mean, you're free to go. You know, you're not under arrest or anything like that. So, they'll be in touch with you.
Okay. When I pulled up, I thought there was a vigil going on. I didn't know.
PD2.
This isn't quite as welcoming, but I get it.
The next day, the cops search Summerbrook Dental, and 2 detectives assigned to the case head out to see Jim.
I'm Detective Olson. This is Detective Graw.
Okay.
I guess we're coming to, talk to you or kind of see if you want to talk to us.
Okay.
Is that something you're interested in?
No.
Okay. And that's fine. So we have a search warrant for this house, but basically for your cell phone, Angela's cell phone, your wallet, and or your laptop.
Okay.
The detectives ask Jim to come out to his truck so they can photograph the contents of his wallet.
So, am I a suspect in something right now then?
So here's where we're at. There are questions.
Yeah. And I have
based
answers.
on what we've heard.
Yeah. I know what they are, and I have the answers.
Okay, well, until they're answered, it's hard to say yes or no.
Like, bro, look, yeah, you have answers, but you don't want to answer the questions. Okay, dude.
But to what
you
you
know
just
you
asked
did
me,
it,
am I a
you
suspect
dumbass.
or not? Well, I guess it kind of depends. It kind of depends how this shakes out. We're hoping this takes that turn, and it's not as big a deal as it sounds, but we're going to still treat it like it could be criminal until we find out otherwise. But your attorney's going to tell you
I just
not to talk to us without them there.
I know.
So,
no, I guess what I mean is there's going to be a funeral coming up. I just don't want to be like handcuffed in front of my kids while I'm making funeral preps and taking off to jail.
And that's why we
you know?
tried to call Jennifer today, and that's why I knocked on the door lightly, and we didn't come like we're just in our jackets for the decency of your family.
Later that day, Tony,
Shut
who
up,
has
dude.
arrived in town with several of Angela's other
If you
siblings,
didn't want all that to happen, maybe don't kill her, dumbass.
has 2 interactions with Jim that strike her as off-key.
And he comes over and he goes, I have a funny story. I think you guys will appreciate it. He's like, yeah, we were in the car and said, now that mom's gone, can we watch Sharknado? I looked at him. God, are you kidding me? But I thought, what is that? So now that mom's gone, everyone can do everything bad. Then he goes, yeah, I just did all of her laundry, and we're very picky laundry people. I'm like, whites do not go with any other color. You know, I have everything separated. Half of it's dried out, you know, and he's like, yeah, I did all of her laundry and I stuck everything in the same load just to stick it to her. Out loud, no lie.
2 days later, on March 18th,
Nuts.
Angela is taken off life support and passes away. That night, Detective Olson asks Jim to meet them so they can give him his phone back. But as Jim soon finds out, that's only a pretense.
Oh, how are you?
I'm great. How are you doing?
Yeah.
Hello. Hi.
Hi, Bob. You are under arrest.
Okay.
Okay, first degree murder.
Whoa. Okay.
I didn't expect this. No, sorry.
Shut up, dude.
I thought I was just getting feedback.
As Jim is taken into custody, a detective lays it out for his brother.
Just for you and the family, I mean, obviously this is shocking. From our standpoint, he's responsible for Angela's death. Okay, no doubt in our mind.
In this case, then, are we just supposed to proceed through the funeral without him?
Yes, he's not going to be able to get out of jail.
I mean, will he be able to attend the funeral?
No.
That's
No.
true.
No, it ain't.
No. He won't have a bond.
He was attending her funeral every time he woke up next to her. She was dead. She was dying every day. Fuck out of here, man.
So he won't be able to get out. And I think if you really sit back and wrap your mind around it, I don't think he should be at the funeral, but he's the one who caused the funeral to happen.
He's still innocent until proven guilty.
It's true.
Through court, right?
It's true. But I just want to give you a heads up that that's why we're here, and that's why he's got a warrant for his arrest, and that's why he's in custody.
But there's a vast difference between being arrested and being convicted, and there is much more to this story than meets the eye.
They do have an arrest warrant for the murder of Angela.
Oh my gosh.
So I know that, you've expressed a few times that you have the answers and want to tell us. I just want to give you that opportunity to tell us what you know. And if you have insight on kind of what happened, or, I know you've talked to DHS, Department of Human Services, and you've kind of alluded when I've talked to you. I just wanted to just give you the opportunity.
I really want that. I haven't had my phone, so I haven't been able to talk to the attorney that I reached out to. Because as you can imagine, this is terrifying for me. Mm-hmm. And you both seem very nice and like you're on my side, but I know how this works, and I don't want to incriminate myself or say anything stupid. Or there are answers. There are answers, and this makes a lot of sense once those answers come out. But I don't know how to navigate this. I've never done this before, and I'm scared to death.
Although Jim is still reluctant to tell his side of the story, he does have one thing he wants to make perfectly clear.
I can tell you I did not kill my wife.
After establishing that he won't be getting out of jail tonight because he's not been given a bond, Jim tries to see if there might be another way.
And then what happens if I talk to you and tell you everything I know? Then what?
Every case is different, so we can't really, I guess, give you direction, if that makes sense, because we don't know what information you have. So we only know what we have currently.
And what do you have currently?
Well, that's typically how we do this, is if we're going to have a conversation, we would Mirandize you, and then you would talk to us and we would talk to you, type of thing. We don't go into all the details of what we have, because this is your opportunity to talk, really, if you want to.
Oh my gosh. I have all of the answers that you need, but I can't talk. I can't. The one attorney that I've talked to has said, don't say anything because you could just incriminate yourself, and I'm totally naive at this. I don't know what I'm doing. And you both seem very nice, but I know that your job is to help me away.
Well, our job is to figure out what happened. Our point is not to put you away, it's to put the person away that caused this to your wife. Yeah. And that's where we're at.
That person is my wife.
With that stunning question, Jim again falls into silence. But this isn't the first investigators have heard of this explanation. Jim floated it for the first time in that phone call with his business partner.
I said, why do you need potassium cyanide? And he said, he's like, oh. There's a lot of pauses with deep breaths. He goes, I ordered it for her. And he basically said that he had ordered the potassium cyanide at her request.
Yeah.
He bought it for her, and that it was a game of chicken. He said, I bought it. I actually didn't think she would use it. He insinuated that she took it on her own. He started saying things like, this looks bad. I said, Jim? I said, yeah, it does. And I said, I think you should stop talking to me. I said, I think you need a lawyer.
When detectives ask Angela's family and friends what they think about Jim's explanation, they're more than a little skeptical that Angela would do such a thing, no matter how bad her marriage was.
She wouldn't take something slowly to put herself in absolute pain and fear for 10 days.
I'd be surprised. That would shock me if she was. That's not her personality.
I will say this, Angie, never.
Back with Jim, the detectives aren't sharing their evidence, but they let him know that things aren't looking good.
The information at this time leads to you. So that's why we're where we're at right now.
Oh, this is horrible. It's horrible. Because I know how this looks. I knew exactly how this was going to look. And so I don't know. I'm so sorry. I don't know.
You don't know shit, dude.
No, you don't have to be sorry. I mean, this is a scary situation. We're not here to pretend that it is.
Yeah, it's really scary.
And
my
that's
kids
why
could lose both of their parents. And I didn't do this. And I don't know how to exonerate myself. I don't know what to do.
all I can just say is I'm sorry, and
I'm sorry that we're hearing of this situation.
I am too.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
I'm sorry that I didn't just let her go through with this years ago.
Jim never goes into further detail with the detectives, but the investigation is still very much in its infancy. Police have obtained the surveillance footage from Jim's house, from which they hope to find a smoking gun. But the videos seem to show all the hallmarks of a loving, happy couple in the days leading up to Angela's illness.
Not quite breaking. Yeah. Father, I accidentally hand washed your pants.
Oh.
Hey.
Oh, how you doing? All right.
No, you gotta go back to work.
That was quick. Baby.
But perhaps there are signs of something darker underneath the surface, even if only in retrospect.
Every time I get a package in the mail now, I'm like, I should order something. Oh, good. My custom shoes that I've been ordering are starting to come in.
Oh.
What?
The custom shoes that you've been ordering, how many are there?
I think 3 pairs.
That is super blue.
I know, I like it.
Okay, what are you gonna wear with it?
My gray suit and a blue shirt when I speak in Las Vegas.
Jim went to Las Vegas a few days after that conversation, and it was there that he met another woman, an orthodontist from Texas named Karen. Police want to speak with her next, and fortunately for them, she happens to be in town.
Hi, Karen.
Yes.
I'm Sergeant Lawnecker with the Aurora Homicide Unit. We've taken Jim into
Yeah, I would look and see if he was planning to meet
custody
her.
for homicide, and I was wondering if you have a minute to speak with me.
Can I,
Yeah, what did get dressed? Yep. So I don't know. Basically, obviously, I didn't find you by a miracle. We are aware of yours and Jim's relationship, and basically your emails and stuff back and forth between each other. And he's been taken into custody for killing his wife. So I don't know, obviously we consider you to be a motive for him to do that. I don't know what kind of communications he's had with you about his wife and what's been going on with her. We have noticed that you seem to come to Denver when his wife was in the hospital, and I don't know if that's just what kind of timing is, that is, or what he's telling you, or how he, you guys are setting up when you're going to come out here. So I don't know if you can shed any light on any of that.
A search of Jim's email account shows messages between the two of them, some of which show Karen's travel itinerary. One trip overlapping with Angela's first extended hospital stay, and a second trip overlapping with Angela's final crash and eventual death. But Karen says those dates are misleading.
I had a ticket for the 8th that
Does she think we're idiots?
You are an idiot!
I'm trying to be rude. I think let's play into the coincidentals. It's very odd all this is happening at once. It's odd, isn't it? He already met you once, and then now you're somehow flying down here for what? Odd, isn't it?
I changed to...
You didn't come out here then?
No.
Okay.
I had Southwest, so it was free to change.
Okay.
So I just changed the dates to the 16th.
So this is the first time you've come out here?
Mm-hmm.
How did you meet him?
At a meeting, dental meeting in Las Vegas.
Though Karen acknowledges that she's out here to see Jim, she says that their relationship is not as far along as their messages might suggest.
I mean, we shared a lot of, personal information kind of quickly, just like history and, but we haven't been physically intimate or that kind of thing.
So you've not been sexually intimate with him?
Mm-hmm.
What was the purpose of some of those text exchange or email exchanges then? because they're very sexually explicit.
What was the purpose of them?
I mean, I guess I find it hard to believe that he would send something like that to you without having some kind of sexual relationship with you.
I mean, there's been physical intimacy to some degree, but we haven't had intercourse.
Okay.
Karen says that Jim told her that he and Angela had filed for divorce in January, a month before they met in Las Vegas.
He said, I'm going to sit down with her tonight. We're going to start to talk about just about the kids, about how things are going to look during mediation, things like that. And that she had said that she probably was going to move back to where her family is, and just they had been just kind of talking about what things were going to look like. He said, he did tell me when they talked that night, I'm kind of worried that she might hurt herself. So we've had a history of that.
Has he talked to you at all about buying cyanide?
No.
Any other poisons? Anything like that?
The detective decides to set Karen straight on what Jim has been up to.
He's never told her he wants a divorce. He's never told her there's no talk of him moving out with the kids. She has no idea anything about a divorce. He's purchased poisons, and she's now dead because of poisons.
Yeah,
so a lot of the things he's told you, assuming you've told me the truth, are all nonsense. Sorry to be the bearer of bad news, but I mean, the real victim here is his wife.
Facts.
Big time.
The
Yeah,
next
she's dead,
morning,
so-
Karen talks to Detective Olson. She shares a conversation she had with Jim after Angela passed, in which he talked about all the things he would need to do to get his...
Come on, now she starts remembering shit, huh? She probably stayed up all night.
his affairs in order.
Life insurance was in that string of thought, and I was like, oh, is life insurance going to change if this is, self-inflicted? And he said, no, I got a policy that doesn't have that, that has an exclusion for that due to our history.
While Jim's explanation about the life insurance lines up with his story that Angela did this to herself, it also opens the door to another possible motive. And according to Ryan, Jim could use the money.
It was in January where we decided as a company that we could not continue to pay his creditors from his first bankruptcy at the level that we were paying it, and he was going to have to take some more involvement in it. And he was going to take a pay cut a little bit.
As he should.
And so I know that probably creates some financial pressure on him a little bit. So we've put in about $350,000 into saving his.
According to Elizabeth,
Yeah, bro. What? Yeah, this guy's nuts, bro. This guy's fucking weird as shit.
woman Jim met on Seeking.com and took to Bozeman, Montana. This financial strain didn't stop Jim from spending his money.
Did he give you, I'm guessing he paid for that trip, correct?
Correct. Yep.
And then did he give you any more funds other than just the trip?
He did. Yeah.
And how much was that?
I want to say in total it was probably about $9,000.
Golly.
Okay.
It was for the monthly allowance that we had talked about as part of a traditional sugar daddy, sugar baby relationship.
According to...
Fuck, man. This dude is weird, bro.
prosecutors, Jim was the sole beneficiary on more than $4 million of life insurance policies in Angela's
$4
name.
million?
But Karen, who still believes that Angela may have caused her own tragedy, is concerned about their 6 kids.
I mean, obviously, my hope is that I'm right and that they don't lose.
Yeah.
A mommy and a dad, you know.
Yeah. No, I agree.
While the detective is sympathetic to Karen's position, Angela's friends aren't as understanding.
You're okay with them murdering his wife? No, yeah. That's I was just like, okay, and we interviewed her the night he was arrested, and then I interviewed her again this morning. And really, it was just to get to the bottom of, did she know?
Right.
Like, is she a core conspirator?
Were you involved at all?
I don't think she knew. I think he schmoozed her and
Oh yeah. Like
did ever. So, I mean,
To be fair,
she probably also doesn't know he's broke too. So her life has been blown up as well. I don't think I mean, obviously she didn't ask for this.
Indeed, it's clear that the fallout from this case has affected everyone involved at the deepest level.
It just is psychotic.
Yeah.
It just is a whole another layer of just wicked. To watch your kids. Who does that? And I know we don't know anything, but just the thought of who does that.
She actually has the most valid feelings, bro. Like, yeah, if you poison the wife of your children and then act like nothing happens and all this shit, bro, while she's dying every day for 10 days and your children are losing their mother, yeah, you're an evil person. You're evil, bro. And there's something in you that is terrible. You're a terrible, evil person. And you were cheating on her when this was happening. You're an evil person. Evil.
Indeed, not even Detective Olson is immune to the emotional weight of this tragedy.
I have never broke down. This case, I feel so bad. It is tragic. I hate these kids. I hate little kids that we deal with.
I mean, yeah, it's like everyone's feelings here is valid, but like these people, like this guy is so insane, bro. Like he couldn't file for divorce. He's like, I'm just gonna poison her and kill her. Bro, you're evil.
The kids are in denial. They will not believe for 1 second that he would do this, and I understand why.
Now in jail, Jim is determined to prove his innocence one way or the other, and it's to one of those kids that he turns to for help. He sends a letter to his oldest daughter. "I'm going to ask you to help me with something really hard," he writes. "We need to make a deepfake video of Mom saying she asked me to order cyanide and that she was going to take it herself." It's only the beginning of Jim's efforts to exonerate himself, as demonstrated by a call police make to the mother.
So he thought AI was going to get him out of this situation. Yeah, he needs life in prison.
Of his cellmate.
So in the letter that is
Demonstrated by a call police make to the mother of his cellmate.
Okay.
So in the letter that is addressed to both, it says Becca and Will. So I presume, obviously, you go by Becca sometimes. And in that conversation or in that letter, Mr. Craig has essentially asked that your son or you help him with some things in lieu of getting the transplants or the teeth that he would do for you.
Oh my gosh, what do you mean?
So basically he has asked, that whoever responds to him doesn't use their legal government name, like they use like a code name, or they use even if it's like a nickname, you know what I mean? But that way that you guys would not be traceable to him. And in turn, that person would get a burner phone and a fake ID and essentially help him, and then they would give you the teeth or plans in return.
Absolutely not. I don't know anything about that.
Do you know anything about Mr. Craig or his case?
No.
Okay. He is currently in custody for a murder case.
Oh my God.
Prosecutors also allege that Jim tried to hire a fellow prisoner named Nathaniel to kill Detective Olson, the lead investigator on the case. When that plan fails, he writes to Nathaniel's ex-wife Cassie, explaining to her that he's been framed by his business partner.
This guy is fucking weird as shit, bro. This dude needs to be locked up in some type of solitary confinement for life.
He asks her to go to the district attorney, pretending to be a friend of Angela's who can testify that she was suffering from depression and planning to end her own suffering. He also asks that she use her expertise in Photoshop to spoof text messages that can help sell the story. He also reaches out to Karen, the orthodontist he met in Vegas.
He had sent me a message through the Getting Out app that he had sent me letters and basically just saying he was innocent, he's been taken out of the world, an innocent man with no recourse, and yada yada. It's just like, okay, regardless of your innocence in this such a liar. I mean, there was so much honesty. Even if you're completely innocent of how she passed away, it's like there was such a
Come on, bro.
Such a high level of just living two lives.
Yep, 100%.
Which is just mind-boggling.
Yeah.
And scary.
Yeah.
And I haven't dated somebody in 30 years.
Yeah.
This is what I do. My first date in 30 freaking years. This is where I am.
In their investigation, police discover that Jim communicated with Karen using an email address he created only 4 days after meeting her in Las Vegas. They also take a look at Jim's devices and search history, where a bleak picture begins to develop.
So there's nothing really on his phone. There's nothing on his laptop. Computer number 9 and examiner number 9. He's searching, will arsenic show up in an autopsy? What are the top most 5 undetectable poisons to kill a human? And I can go on. And it is absolutely sickening.
On that specific computer, Jim searches, how many grams of pure arsenic will kill a human, where to purchase arsenic, and clicks on a video titled, The 5 Most Dangerous Chemicals on Earth. The new email address he created to communicate with Karen is used for only one other purpose: purchasing poison.
He ordered arsenic first. That was delivered to his house on the 4th.
I'm not trying to be rude. I don't know why people look shit up on Google and think they're gonna get away with shit. How retarded you gotta be to look shit up on Google and think you're gonna get away with killing somebody and watching YouTube videos? Dumbass, you're using data. Oh my god, bro, it's so many times, and I'm glad he did. I'm glad he's stupid. And the rest in peace to his wife that he killed, but I'm glad he's so stupid that he did this. And he's
Angie was out of town.
The outside surveillance cameras show the mail truck drive past Jim's house on March 4th. A short while later, Jim is seen walking down the street. He returns minutes later with a couple of envelopes in his hand.
Every time I get a package in the mail, now I'm like, I should order.
It was this purchase of arsenic that investigators believe was used to put Angela in the hospital the first time on March 6th.
He said they got up, he made them both like a shake, like a protein shake. And I don't remember what he said he had put in it, but it was like a pre-workout or something with caffeine, and whatever he had put in it was like 3 times the normal amount that she normally takes.
But investigators believe that Jim Craig put something far more dangerous than caffeine into her protein shake that morning.
Oh my god. This is tragic.
Before leaving for work that morning, Jim has a question.
You feel kind of heavy. Feel okay?
It's not. Oh, sorry. Cold winter, Jim.
Of course, Angela would be anything but fine that morning, or for the little time she had remaining in her life. But as investigators would see for themselves, that single dose of arsenic didn't get the job done.
He also ordered, it's oleander. It's like an extremely poisonous plant, but obviously you can get the derivatives out of it. That was still en route. So actually, I think it's coming to Denver today.
With the oleander delayed and the potassium cyanide not due for days, Jim is forced to improvise. On the night of March 8th, he leaves his house at 10:40 p.m. He arrives back home 15 minutes later at 10:55. Police later find out that during this time, he purchased 12 bottles of eye redness drops at the local grocery store. The next morning, Jim makes his wife another drink and turns the TV on for her before going to work.
This is nuts, bro.
I was just curious. Talking about
That would be the day Angela would be taken to the hospital for the second time. Toxicology reports would later confirm that she had tetrahydrozoline in her system at the time of her death. It's the active ingredient in Visine. When swallowed, it can cause illness and even death. And yet it's still not enough to kill Angela. The package of potassium cyanide comes to Jim's office on March 13th, and investigators believe he gave her the first dose inside a capsule that was supposed to contain an antibiotic.
He wrote out this timeline in his phone, basically the hours after he's confronted by Ryan and Michelle.
Detective Olson says that Jim used this memo to tell the full story about Angela's desire to order poison for herself.
And that she finally said, I'm just going to do it. And he said, fine, I'm done. I'm done trying to save you. I'm not going to save you this time. He said that he took the clindamycin and put potassium cyanide in the capsules. Put the potassium cyanide inside the clindamycin capsules. Did say that. I knew it.
It is also in Jim's memo that investigators make one last horrifying realization. Even after Angela was rushed to the hospital for a final time, Jim was apparently not done yet.
He says he went to university, gave her a syringe, which is, no doubt in my mind, that's potassium cyanide, gave it to her. And then he left the room and said, like her arm hurts or something. And he came back and the syringe was empty and that she put it in her IV port at university. And that he then took the syringe back and put it in his pocket.
Hospital surveillance cameras show Jim emerging from a side room at a...
Yeah, he needs prison for life. He tried to kill her 4 times with poison. This guy is nuts. Like, he's scum.
Approximately 1:53 p.m. before pulling something thin and cylindrical out of his pocket. Less than 30 minutes later, Jim comes out of Angela's room, speaks to the nurses, and the frantic but doomed effort to save Angela's life begins.
So his final dose was actually at the hospital, I think. We were trying to figure that out.
Jim goes to trial on charges of first-degree murder after deliberation, 2 counts of tampering with physical evidence, 2 counts of soliciting perjury, and a final count of soliciting first-degree murder. His defense, that he merely purchased arsenic, oleander, tetrahydrozoline, and potassium cyanide at the behest of his wife, is rejected by the jury, and he is found guilty on all counts.
I can't even say that he's narcissistic. All I can say is he's pure evil. He's pure evil.
100%.
At Jim's sentencing hearing, Tony said to him, Angela was a light you never deserved. You may have temporarily dimmed her light in this life, but it will continue to shine in those she loves and that love her in return. In July
Great message.
2025, Dr. Jim Craig is sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole.
100% well deserved. Solitary confinement for life.
His wife, Angela Craig, was 43 years old. If you'd like to see...
I feel bad for all the kids and stuff, man. This guy's pure evil. Yo, that's... Yo, you... Yeah, no. That's one of the much more brutal than missing our funeral. Causing her funeral. Yeah, bro. Dude's weird. Why didn't you divorce? Why is divorce never an option for these psychopaths? I don't know. He won't be able to attend her funeral. Dude, she's the reason he's the reason she's dead. He is the reason she's dead, yeah. If she dies, she's not allowed him to have autopsy, 100%. The nerve to ask the cop to not cuff me in front of the kids when you killed the mother in front of them. Facts. Yeah, literally had them dying all day. You guys got wait, hold on, let me read this one. Side chick didn't seemed at all surprised, yeah. I mean, bro, I'm sure he probably told her in some way, shape, or form. But yeah, you guys gotta let me know what you think about this. I think he deserves to rot in prison and need to be in solitary confinement for life. I don't know, from what I'm seeing, I highly doubt she was yeah, do it, bro, do it. Nah, bro, you need life. You're evil.